right. What's the motherfucking deal for the second time? You know what I'm saying? We ain't even finna get into it, right? You know, you think you're on time, yeah, you know, it is what it is. Players fuck up. But welcome to The Den. If you're not familiar with The Den is the best conversation on the entire internet. The entire fucking internet. You can search far, you can search wide, but you will never find anything like what's inside the motherfucking den. So we're gonna get to a great conversation today, and we have a friend of The Den who we all know and love joining us this afternoon. But if you don't know who this is, let me allow him to reintroduce himself. Who do we have joining us this afternoon? Oh. See, if it ain't one thing, it is something else. Let me see what's going on. I think we back? Okay, are we back? Yes, okay. All right. So who do we have joining us this afternoon?
Alrighty, this is your boy Man Up. Here to chop it up with Mr. Honcho today. Still trying to get things situated myself, yo. Let's go ahead and talk about this and try to see what I want everybody's opinion on this topic.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's a very interesting topic that everyone should be able to chime in on in some form or fashion. But today we're going to talk about modern women and the idea of dating down. Now, that is something that is detestable to modern women. It's almost like using the word submissive or submission. It's like using profanity. It burns the little hairs inside of their ears. And it makes it hard for them to hear anything else that you have to say. When you use terms like this, it deafens women. This is a fact. This is a known fact, because you have a conversation that you try to talk about, nothing else gets heard. I mean, this is science. But let's see what we have joining us this afternoon. Let me get this. Okay, this is the wrong deal. Okay, close that out. Let me see what we have joining us this this afternoon, and let's get into some good conversation. And again, I'm glad all of y'all could join us, and I think it should be fun. Let's see. The lovely Miss K Grace joining us this afternoon. Cultured, aka the Don of the Discord. How you doing this afternoon, sir? What's the motherfucking deal? Man Up holding down the chat and the stream. What's the motherfucking deal? I'm laughing at culture. John, what's the motherfucking deal? My favorite New York. How you doing this afternoon, sir? Jason S., what's the motherfucking deal? Desolate AK, what's the motherfucking deal? Nikki, napping, motherfucking Nicole, haven't seen you in 37 and a half years, but I'm glad that you could join us this afternoon. I hope all is well. Heidi is a racist. Plindings. How are you this afternoon, ma'am? Let's see. The Baker Man. What's the motherfucking deal? Good to see the Baker Man. What's going down, man? Let's see. Adam, what's the motherfucking deal? Broderick Brooks, I sell possum ribs for the low. What's the motherfucking deal? Good to see you, sir. All right. So let us talk about it. Let me hold on. I feel like, remember I was telling y'all the other day about that movie, Problem Child? That used to be my shit. I think he used to wear like a little bow tie like this. I gotta remember. I ain't seen the movies in a long time, but it was a cold-blooded motherfucker. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, right? And I'm glad that all of you could join us. And so what I want to do beforehand, and if you guys haven't seen the video, Mr. Man Up did a video specifically on this, but we're going to deep dive into this. So first, if you're not subscribed to Mr. Man Up's channel, if you go to the main page on the Den and you go to favorite channels, either favorited or recommended channels, it's right there. So you have no excuse. What to do 713. But we're going to watch this little video, and give me just a moment to pull it up. I should have had this prearranged, and the 2 times that I've started this stream, but hey, it is what it is, my friend. So let's just do this, and we'll just do it like this. This will be the easy way to do it. So I ain't gotta fuck around too much. Oh, and I told you guys while I'm sitting here, pulling this up, that yes, I have started an OnlyFans. No, it's not an OnlyFans like that. Y'all are weird as fuck. Well, I would not promote myself in such a fashion. Whenever y'all say, what are you doing? OnlyFans started out.
Now to a segment we like to call So They Say. We talk
for creators, right? For creatives. And then the whores took it over, right? So I don't know about y'all, but I'm not allowed, I'm finna let the whores take over anything else. They've took over enough in 2020. I'm here to claim it back. But no, really, the reason why I want to do things there is because I can kind of get into some more, I guess, graphic things. Sometimes some of the videos and things that I come across involve acts of violence or other explicit stuff. in conversation we like to talk about. So what I'll be doing is from now on, I'll be uploading to the OF first, unedited, and the things that I put on YouTube will be edited for profanity and certain imagery. That way I can start trying to actually get some growth on YouTube, because YouTube does not promote the videos too much if they're too foul or the topics are not up to par. So I gotta start strategizing. I don't want to do it, but unfortunately I have to. But the OnlyFans is free. If we get 10 people to sign up over there before the stream is over with, I will do an extended end today. OnlyFans.com/Ed Honcho. And let me make sure I have this properly pulled up. And I think no, that's not it. That's not the right one. No, why is it not showing up? Hold on 1 second. I guess I have to do it like so. All right, here we go. All right, let's watch this little video, y'all. And I'm just going to take over the whole screen, so I'll just do it like that. And then we'll get into it from here. I'm going to pause myself. I'm going to let the whole thing play out so y'all can be informed as to what we're talking about. And then we'll go from there. Enjoy.
Talked about it at the beginning of the show, and it looked like the fellas had a lot to say about it. Finding love is not that easy, right? And it's especially hard in this economy. And guess what? Many women say they are finding it very hard to find a man who makes as much as they do. A study by Cornell University found that the country's declining marriage rate is due to the lack of financially eligible bachelors. Women are actually outpacing men with education, and this is changing the age-old mentality that men are the breadwinners. In turn, the gig or small gigs economy and lack of good jobs out there have left the ladies single and disgruntled. And researchers say they are seeing a trend of women dating down, which means, a man who...
Dating down. Really?
All right, listen, it was in the prompt, right?
Really? Who wrote that?
I mean, I say all that.
Jeez.
Disgruntled. This is just the reality of it. So women, we're more educated now, and I think that we're furthering our education. So with that being said, we're going to hold off on the baby making. We're going to hold off until we get that great job, really career driven. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's anything wrong with hoping that there's someone either on your level or higher than you.
So, okay.
Go ahead, love doctor.
All right. So before, right, it was okay when the man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one, right? You can't be the one to pay for the meal and because you're dating down.
I hate that, yeah.
What is that about? It wasn't called dating down.
Right.
Yeah.
When men were the breadwinners and all that kind of.
It's called taking care
now
of
it's
your family.
dating down.
Yeah.
What is that?
I have a feeling, though, that some of the issue here is that it may be the psyche of the men, that when they make less, they are insecure and it can affect their relationship.
This report is about the women complaining about the fact that
they don't
now
have,
I got to get
so
a guy.
I guess my question would be, so
are
are these women expecting the men to cover everything? They want those breadwinners, so they...
That's what it sounds like to me by this particular study. I have to date down now. Mm-hmm. What is that? You wanted to make more money, you make more money. What's the if there is a responsibility with making more money? First of all, I don't believe in any of it. Mm-hmm. But if there's a responsibility that comes with making more money, accept it. You wanted to make more money. Right. Are you going to find many men out there that makes as much as you do?
And my point is, so now you're going to, because we hear so much about women that are like, oh, there's nobody out there, there's no one out there, I can't find love, I'm getting too old. Now you're going to sacrifice the fact that you could find that love because the man's not making that much money, and you're going to date down?
All right.
No,
they're wrapping us. I have a feeling this is going to be our morning rush extra.
I could do bad by myself.
Left to say. All right, time now, 5:11. Let's get to what's ahead on.
I could do bad by myself.
Left to say. All right, time now, 5:11.
Now, I specifically brought it back to that part for a reason, and so we're gonna put this right here. We're gonna leave her up in the background, and now Man Up has become the news anchor because his head is sitting on top of the news anchor's shoulders now. But we're gonna leave this face up right here. I can do bad all by myself. Right. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, because Mr. Man Up has covered this stuff, so I want to do him the honors because he brought the subject up, and I found it extremely intriguing. Mr. Man Up, when you first saw this, what ran through your mind? Like, what was your first reaction?
let me say this. I first saw this, I thought it was total disrespect. Total disrespect. And the funny thing is, while I was doing a video about this, my wife was sitting right next to me, watching it, and watching me do the news about this, right? And the funny thing is, I said, wow, when a man makes the money, it's doing what you're supposed to do as a man, handling your responsibilities.
Correct.
But when a woman making the money, nope. It it can't go down like that. Nope, I gotta find somebody to make as much as us, make as much as me, is what she said. And then to say that you can do bad all by yourself, at the end of that, everybody can. But let me ask you a question, Honcho. I'm gonna ask you two questions. Have you ever heard a man say, when he gets with a woman that don't make as much as him, have you ever heard him say he's dating down?
No. I've never in my life heard such a thing.
And have you ever heard a man tell a woman if she ain't making as much as him, he can do bad by himself?
No, I've never heard such a thing.
And all the fellas in the chat, ladies too, be honest and answer the question.
Yes.
Now, my whole thing with this is you are free to do and believe in whatever you want.
Correct.
Now, I'm not knocking women making money because I encourage it. Like I said in my video, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, my wife makes almost twice as much as I do on our regular 9-to-5 jobs. And even including our side hustles, she still makes more than me. So that's not the issue. And I knew this when I married her. She makes more than me, so that's not the issue. The issue is the attitude that comes with it. And to sit here and say that women are now making more than me, that you don't want me. It's not the fact that I'm going to bring you down or anything. No, because like I said, when I make the money, I never say anything crazy. You know what I'm saying? I've never heard any other man say anything like this. So everybody in here, please be honest and answer that question. Have you ever heard a man say he has to date down, or have you ever heard a man say he could do bad by himself? And I ain't talking about that song back in the day, I could do bad by myself. No, I'm talking about literally in life. And you see that picture Hunter got on the background. Her facial reaction. Now, this is the news now. These people are doing the news live on TV. And they got this discussion going. And this lady right here with this little stank attitude saying, no, I don't want no man making less than me. This is a huge double standard that I think that needs to go away, need to be extinct like the dinosaurs. Because to me, when I heard this, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like a woman when you say the word submit. I was like, whoa, they hit me deep to sit here and say you're dating down. That is total disrespect. That is just totally wrong.
And I would agree. Because see, here's my thing, right? Let's play by the rules that the modern woman wants to establish, and I'm okay with this, right? And that is, want to be treated as equals. You want to have, equal bearing in society, equal bearing in the home, all of these things, right? But the thing about it is, and this is where men start to complain, and this is what I was trying to explain to someone earlier, is that it's not about equality. If you want to be equal, let's play it straight down the middle. You don't get to pick and choose where you want to be treated equal. Like, you don't get to have where it benefits you, you want to get treated equal, but then where it may be a little bit more, have more of an impact on you, more of a negative impact on you, then you don't want that part. You don't want to get into that. We talk about equality, we talk about all these things, but you look across the board and look at certain jobs. There are just jobs that are heavily dominated by men that you never hear women complain about ever trying to get into those industries. It's the glamour. And so that's the problem that men have. Like, I don't think anybody has an issue with women making more money or anything like, well, there are men. Let me get that wrong. There are men who do have an issue with that. Like that is a sign of pride and ego or whatever. But that's kind of on them. If you're a woman and you've gone out and you've chosen to pick a certain career path, and especially as she mentioned, they're holding off on the babies and, they're going after their careers and things. Well, what happens a lot of times is this, right? You close the window of your clock. And then when you realize, okay, now I've kind of pigeonholed myself into a certain area or arena, and it may be a good thing. Like say you're doing well for yourself. That's fine. That's dandy. You are educated. And that's something I noticed that they said often was educated, not necessarily income. They talked about making more money, but the reference that was used initially was education. And I think that's a big thing with women, because the more education women get, the better off they think they are than some men. You know what I'm saying? Like to them, if they have, master's degrees and all of these other things, like they feel like they're better than certain men. But it could be a man who works a manual labor job making just as much, if not more than them, who didn't go to any kind of 4-year college or even a 2-year, college, could have picked a trade up on the job or whatever. But they feel like they're superior simply because of education. So like I say, there's an issue, and it's the women that are at fault in the issue. Because even like the woman said, and I'm glad old buddy corrected her when he did, because she said, oh, well, it looks like, the men are, and he's like, no, this is a woman's issue. These are the women that are talking about that they're having, they're struggling to find men that are suitable to date. So again, like that's a choice that you got to realize when you make more money. And if you want to be a woman whose man makes more than you, the more you make, the less opportunity you're going to have, because there's going to be fewer and fewer men making more money than you. So like you kind of have to pick and choose what it is that you're trying to do. If it's happiness, then maybe you're going to have a couple of trade-offs. If it's an image, well, you're probably going to get the short end of the stick. 99 times out of 100, you're going to get the short end of the stick, because a lot of people, they compare themselves to what they're seeing on social media and a lot of these other things, and they're expecting certain stuff. Well, you're going to be very disappointed. And then the more powerful as a woman you are, and you're going to want a man who makes more, does more, all this, it means you're going to be dealing with a very powerful man. And a lot of you women don't really want to handle that. A lot of you women are not truly equipped to deal with that. Because a man who is a powerful man, what happened to her? She's strong. I was mad, a little face disappeared. But a man who's a powerful man, he's going to do certain things differently. And again, like I say, if you're not fully built and you're not fully able to keep up with that, he's going to be a person who's going to be used to getting things the way he wants. And as soon as you feel like you're a person, well, I've worked this hard, I've done this much, I should have a say, he's not going to deal with you. He's like, okay, well, go ahead, enjoy yourself. You got this far by yourself, carry on. I'm not going to put up with the nonsense. Like, you're not going to have the say-so that you think you're going to have, And so, because men and women view these things completely differently. Like, a man, congratulations, you got a degree. I don't really give a fuck. In the words of Professor Trill, how well do you toot it? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about your degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck about how much money you make. Like, don't think I've ever inquired to a woman like how much money she's ever made. Like, I've never really cared. Like, so it's never been a thing. If I'm fucking with you, I'm fucking with you. Like, I don't care about what you do when you go to work. I don't care about if you stay. Like, I don't care about none of that shit. So, like I say, these are measurements that women have, and they're trying to hold men to these particular standards. And now that you're overachieving and you're having these successes, now you're mad because you can't have your cake and eat it too. And that makes no sense to me.
I feel the same way, man, because the thing is this here. I said this in my video too. I said, with great power comes with great responsibility. That's what I named it on my video. Yeah. And here's the thing. If you view yourself as making more money as being the one that's in control, accept all of that responsibility that comes with it. 9 times out of 10, like I was telling Honcho before we started up stream, I said 9 times out of 10, it all depends on people's situation, their lifestyle, whatever. The person that makes the most money is going to be the one that's in control of certain things. That's just how it works. Now, also too, when you decide you want to go down that route, don't get upset that you're not finding what you want out of life. Whether it's a man, whether it's friends, whether it's being sociable with other people, because people do look at you as a certain way when you start, when you have the stank attitude like that woman did that Honcho had up on the screen. Excuse me. And people will view you a certain way. Now, here's the thing with that too. When you put yourself live on TV like that, now I did go back and before I continue, I did go back and look at some of the responses from the ladies talking about she could do bad by herself, and a lot of women was on her side. Mm-hmm. Now that's true. Everybody can do bad by themselves, but just because you making 100,000, I might make 75,000, does not mean that I'm not handling my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It'd be different if I ain't doing anything. Then you could have something to say.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? And that's a whole idea that lady was trying to say that men are insecure. Mm-hmm. I erased that right off the bat. I said right at the bat, my wife makes more than me. Mm-hmm. I came into this relationship knowing that my wife makes more than me. They don't care. That ain't what I'm marrying her for. I'm marrying her for her. I wanted her for her mindset, who she is as a person. That's what I wanted. And like Honcho said, I've never in my life asked a woman how much money she makes. Not one single time.
It's never crossed my mind.
but women do ask men that. I get it. Women want to make sure they're financially secure and all that good stuff. They don't want to have to struggle, be homeless, all that good stuff. I get it. But at the end of the day, do not pick and choose or flip the script when it's all on you. And I even said this in my video, just like what Honcho said. I just said it in my video. You cannot sit here and tell me that you want to be treated equal when you get an opportunity to be treated equal, but then you don't want the responsibility that comes with it. You don't want to be the one that's in control of everything, or you don't want to be the one that has to make all the hard major decisions. And the funny thing is, like I said, I also know creating this video myself, my wife was sitting right there next to me, and y'all probably heard her in the background talking. You probably could, probably couldn't. And she was saying the same thing that I was saying. Yeah, but here's the thing. Just because it's male to female, you got to do the same thing if that's what you want to have done.
I agree. And that's equality, Now, if you don't really want that, just say, we want to get treated a little bit better in certain arenas, but then you have to accept, also what comes with that. My deal is, if you're expecting someone, again, to step in front, protect you from the danger, to, take care of the household, make more money. But what happens, again, with a lot of these more educated women who are making more money, they still want to have that say-so. And again, if you're doing very well for yourself, that means you're going to want a man who's probably doing even better for himself. Well, there's a reason he got there. There's a way he got there. And I'm pretty sure it's by taking charge of things. They're going to be less than susceptible to hearing some of the shit you feel like you have an input on, some of the shit that you feel like you have a say-so on. Some men will, but the majority won't, especially in this day and age when you have a million fucking options. If my money's not an issue, I'm going to go get the chick who ain't got a lot going on, but she listens, she cooks, she cleans, and she looks good. And she's younger, because, I don't have those issues. I don't have to worry about that. She doesn't feel entitled to a certain type of way. And I'm not saying that you do or don't deserve. It's you pick and choose what you get. You go where you're treated best. I always say that. But, she's going to feel differently about certain things than he is. You know what I'm saying? And so, if not, guess what? She's just as easy to get swapped out, too. So, what you have to realize is you have to look at yourself in totality. It's not just about your education and your money. That works for men because of the way women view things, because, again, women needing, seeking resources first well, I won't say this resource for nowadays. It's something different, but mainly seeking a man's resources. That's what they base most of their decisions off of. Men don't think like that. So you could have all the resources. It doesn't change anything. If you look like a fucking booger wolf, then it is what it is. You're just $1 million booger wolf. You know what I'm saying? You're still going to struggle. You might find some little nigga who don't give a fuck that you can trick some money off on. He going to fuck with you. But, you know, and if you got a shitty attitude and you know, look sloppy, it doesn't matter how educated and how much money you have. Like with women, and unfortunately, it's the game. And unfortunately, y'all made the game the way it is. So it's like, it's not men who did this. It's other women who realize that you have to compete for the attention of certain men. That if you want what's it, so they start setting the standards. They start raising the bar. And so the things that y'all do has nothing to do with men at all. It has to do with you competing with other women and how other women have responded to competing with other women throughout history. Again, they don't care about the fucking bags and all this shit. Like you did the video on Sweetie, whatever her name is.
Oh yeah.
Talking about if he can't buy you a Birkin bag, throw him back to the streets. Birkin bag is more than the majority of Americans make in a year. The majority to buy one, and not only that, the exclusivity of it. Like you can have the money and not buy a Birkin bag. Like I'm not a fashion person. Like I don't know anything of that, but I know from certain people I've listened to and just overheard things. Like first you have to have bought a certain number of Hermes bags. You know what I'm saying? There's a waiting list for that. And then, you know, to be able to have the opportunity to even buy a Birkin bag. I was watching someone, and that's another time. I'm going to actually save that for Discord conversation. But so my thing is like, but you have women of this mentality, like, oh, if he can't buy you this bike, but what do you bring to the table? Like, who are you? Chick that rap. So honestly, like if nobody picked you up for rap, you'd probably be like a little ghetto hood rat. And you feel like you worth a fucking $20,000 bag, $30,000 fucking up to what they said, I think up to $500,000. I think some of them are, depending on what it is. Like, you think you deserve that for what? It's a billion ghetto ass hood rats out there. You know what I'm saying? Some of them just can't rap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of basic women who are real basic and average, especially if you take all the accessories off, but they automatically feel like they deserve all of these things. Like, no man does that. And so the insulting part, I kind of agree with you, is when the term becomes dating down. Because, you know, there's these standards that never get applied to it. But if you want equality, then you have to accept these standards too. So that's saying if I date a woman who has less resources, or she has less going on, or maybe she has some kids and she's struggling or whatever, I like her, but I'm definitely dating down. A woman would say you're a scumbag, you're a chauvinist, you're a pig, you're all like, you would get called all the names in the world. But if your homegirl, and most of you women, if one of your chicks told you, I'm dating this guy, he doesn't make as much as me, oh, but he's nice. Oh, girl, you can do better. You need a man who's going to do this. Why does she need that? Why does she deserve that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, why? And that's kind of the problem. Like I think a lot of people have now is, it's the arrogance. It's the modern woman is extremely arrogant. Yes, you've gone out, you've earned some things, but hey, with all of us, it's still a competition. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. Even with men, it's always a competition. A woman always gonna keep her options open until, you know, she ready, you know, she find that one. So it's always, you're even competing for, you know, a woman's attention. Women have to do the same thing, but when a man doesn't choose up, or he doesn't, he's not intrigued by her advances or whatever it is she's doing, then he's the bad guy. Then he's a scumbag. Then he's a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, well, I'll tell you this. Sweetie has probably gotten an education. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go by the eye test. I don't care about who she is. Again, another one of these educated female rappers, but they don't use whatever it was that they got a degree in to advance themselves. They go out and rap and get half naked. Because this education, again, nobody would give a damn. Like, I have no idea, sweetie. I don't give a shit if she got a fucking degree. Whatchamacallit, I guarantee whatever Migo she would, don't give a fuck if she got a degree. He didn't ask her, well, sweetie, how much are you making before I can date you? But I guarantee if it was a local rapper or some nigga who wasn't that, she's going to judge him. He's less than, because whatever. And even if she could buy it, she's saying somebody else has to buy it for her. So if that's the case, why don't she say, hey, women, why don't you get out there and buy your own Birkin bags? Like, why don't she motivate in that fashion? So what she said was trash, and there's no justification of anything she said. If she's educated, she's an educated idiot. Because again, if she's educated, she should know numbers, statistics, and understand that you're giving bad advice to the overwhelming majority of women out there. You know what I'm saying? And so that's
Let me say, my bad, cut you off, but let me say this here before I forget what I'm trying to say. While you were saying that, I looked it up. A Birkin bag, the most expensive one that I was looking at, was $439,000. That's the most expensive one that I saw. Now, if it's something that's more than that, it is. But I saw one that was $439,000, and it's just a regular looking purse. Why in the hell would you want to spend that much money on something that you're just basically going to tear up? Or something you're just going to carry around here and there once or twice a year, maybe, because the damn thing costs so much. And why would I spend that much money on something that's about the same amount as my house?
That's correct.
You see what I'm saying? I can spend that kind of much money to buy a house instead of a damn purse. Here's the thing. I said that I don't care if I got it or I don't got it. There is a limit to everything. There is a limit. And while you were saying that, while you were talking about it, I looked it up, how much some of those cost. I'm like, my house costs about as much as that. Why would I spend that much money on a purse? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And I agree with you, Honcho. I don't know why women like to have this argument. She's educated. She got a degree. She this and that. Okay, what's the point? Great. Who cares? Queen Latifah has a degree, but you never heard her say no crap like this. She worked her own way through college. She worked 2 jobs while going to college to pay for her own college. Nowadays, fast forward 20 years later, nowadays women want you to pay for their stuff. She did it herself. What Honcho was saying is, okay, you want a Birkin bag? Buy it yourself. Why? I got to buy it. That's what you want? Save your money, go buy it yourself. Why? I got to buy it. If a woman came and told me some shit like that, I even said that in my video. I said, if my wife right now told me some shit like that, by the end of the week, divorce papers going to be right in her lap. And I kid you not, divorce papers going to be in her lap. And I kid you not, I don't care. Because there's no way in hell that you're going to come up and tell me, if I can't buy you this, you out of here. Okay, well, I'm going to be out of here on purpose just to piss you off. I'm gone. If you want something, go work hard and get it your damn self. That's what I'm teaching my little girl. If you want something, you get it yourself. Don't tell nobody else to buy you nothing. That is just beyond ridiculous to me. I never understood that.
Exactly.
And I brought up a good point when I said Queen Latifah. She went to college. She got a degree. She worked 2 jobs while in college. And you don't even see too many people these days working 1 job while in college. But she paid her own way through college. So now what? Why don't we have women promoting stuff like that instead of telling me to buy you this? When you got your own money, you can buy it your damn self. See, that's the problem right there. Oh, she's educated. She has a degree. And who cares? I have a damn degree sitting on my wall in my room. So what? Who cares? You don't see me bragging about shit like that. Who cares? Nobody never knew that until I just said it right now. After all this time I've been on the den talking to everybody, nobody never knew that until I said it right now. Because I don't have to brag about stuff like that. Only person that knew, of course, my family. But because I don't have to brag about what I'm doing with my life, what I accomplished and stuff like that. Now, if you ask me, I'll tell you. But who cares you got a degree? You ain't doing nothing with that degree. Oh, Megan Thee Stallion, she's college. She graduated college. And you don't need no college degree to show your ass on TV. Talk about how good your pussy is and all that. You don't need no degree for that. Shit, you got women in the projects doing that shit. That ain't even finished 5th grade. Still, that's doing that shit. So y'all can miss us with that dumb shit just because you got an education. So what? A lot of people got education. Shit, that don't mean nothing. And people are still going to goddamn college every goddamn thing, every goddamn, all the damn time just to say, oh, I studied at this school, I studied at that school. Okay, so what's the point? I don't care about stuff like that. I never, ever, ever asked my wife about her educational status, about how much money she makes, about what can she buy me. I never, ever, ever done no shit like that. Not one single time. Any relationship throughout my whole entire life. So when women come up talking about, well, she can do this, she can do that, she got this, she got that, and who cares? Name me one guy who's ever asked a woman that shit.
Nobody cares. And that's my thing. That's what I'm saying, Nick Nicole. If she's got the bag and she's got her own money and all of that stuff, then why not spread a positive message to other women? This is why I say women give other women the worst advice ever. Go get you a man that's got this bag. Why don't you say, hey, sis, or whatever y'all calling each other these days, hey, I can get me a bag. You can get you a bag. You don't need no nigga to get you a bag. Go run it up for yourself. Go run it up for you and your kids or whatever the fuck it is, instead of saying go look for some nigga to go do this. Because then that same nigga that's doing this, that, and the third, when he hit her with the offset or whoever else, now the nigga a piece of shit and all this other stuff. Well, you could have been doing that on your own son. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what she's encouraging is the perpetuation of what's going on in what's the biggest problem in the black community. Because basically you're encouraging these women to prostitute themselves is what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You don't give it up unless he got a whole lot of don't go seeking your happiness. Don't go look for somebody who really fucking with you, who is willing to, jump off a bridge for you, do everything, build with you and all that. Go find you a man who's already established, which you've done nothing for. Make yourself easily replaceable. You know what I'm saying? And then get mad and say that he ain't shit when the whole reason you went and were seeking him out was to try to come up off of him. But somehow he ain't shit when he didn't buy into your bullshit ass program. That's what I'm saying. That's where she's giving terrible advice. It's horrible fucking advice. Why don't you say, hey, again, if black women are most educated and all this, and I don't even know what Sweetie is. I don't really care. She got all that shit on her. That's all I'm saying. So, like, if you're in a position like that, why aren't these women encouraging other women to go do things in a manner that's sustainable? You know what I'm saying? The same way all the rest of them, like, women, again, like I say, they're the biggest promoters of their own pussy. Like, people, oh, men make sex songs. Like, yeah, but women talk way worse and are way more degrading in their music than men ever are. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing, what it is. But my thing is, it's not about knocking her. And so say you are, independent and you are your own self-thinker, and that's amazing. That's a beautiful thing. But let's be honest, the majority of people are not. That's why a motherfucker make a song and then you see a whole wave of people doing whatever they said in that song. Somebody start wearing some different weird clothes and everybody doing, whatever that motherfucker wearing, because people are susceptible. And so that, we need to do better. And so when that message got pushed and promoted, like I said, I had no idea who the fuck she was. And then I see goofy ass old buddy, and I'm still, all amigos look the same to me, but I see a goofy ass old buddy back there. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, it was me. Like, looking like a real goofball, you know what I'm saying? Like, that, it make you think real less of that nigga, because a lot of them square ass niggas, honestly, like, them niggas don't be fucking with them kind of hoes. Only the reason they do is because they got money. It's not the mouthpiece. It ain't nothing like that. It's because now I got money to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, them niggas be the worst ones, because it's like, nigga, if you know you couldn't fuck these type of hoes when you was broke, or you ain't have it like that, and now you're doing it because you can. Like, I get it, you're doing it because you can, but to me, my integrity would, like, be fucking with me. It's like, nah, this bitch wouldn't have gave me the time of day if I wasn't sitting on some M's, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what? Fuck this trash asshole. Leave it for the streets. Like, but, you live in lavish, you got to have an image, you got to have all those things. So that's cool. That's like, if that's what they do, that's what they do. That's not my bag. So there's no respect. Like, I don't think there's nothing cool about that. But again, she should be taking that platform. She should be taking that message and inspiring, especially young girls, because that's who's paying the most attention. Like, hey, little girl, you can do it yourself. You ain't got to get out here doing some ratchet shit. You ain't got to get out here, showing your ass. You're more than your body. You worthwhile. You have a mind. But you have all these entertainers promoting sexual liberation and doing this. So, men, they just want to fuck. So you get mad. Well, if you're willing to give it up with no commitment, and then you get his rocks off, then you mad because you don't want to call back or this, that, and the other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you thought you could handle the lies that these entertainers are telling you, because they not doing that shit. They telling you to do that shit, but they going home to somebody, or they going home, to whatever nigga they been fucking with or whatever. And so it does detriment. It's like a virus. You know what I'm saying? And that's my problem with shit like that. It's a fucking virus. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Yeah,
man,
I
but
think it's
nobody like the fake ass or titties. That's even worse. Like all that shit is trash. Like that shit is so played out. The fake asses look nasty as shit. Look like they about to bust and stuff. Like I hope every bitch that's ever got an ass shot gets an infection. Like I hope that like if you've ever augmented your ass cheeks, like I hope you get a fucking ass infection. Like I just hope it just start eating your cheeks away. Like that's how I really feel about that shit. Like on some real shit. And if you didn't went and just did too much with the teeth, like I know some of y'all weren't blessed. All right. Okay, I understand. You know, it may be a little. I'm not a fan of it either way, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm biased. Like I don't like, you know, I can't do too much. I got big ass hands, so I need something to work with. You feel me? But you know, I'd rather you still be natural, because some of y'all, you know, be out there with the bee stings, going to try to get the bee cups, and then you stretching all the little skin all right here. It's looking all like a little driveway down the middle of your chest and shit. You know what I'm saying? Looking like a little canal down there. The titties all hard, sitting to the side. They don't move. Nipples stuck in one direction and shit. You know what I'm saying? You looking at me, I'm looking at you. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure it all out, you know? So that fake shit, all that fake shit is whack, dog. Like, I'm natural. Like, I want shit as natural as fucking possible. Like, don't, man, I like that shit. Like, I was watching that stupid ass fucking movie, Queen and Slim. The old lady wanted to watch it. I told her it was going to be terrible, but we started watching it. We did not make it through. It was fucking terrible. But in the beginning, I was like, man, I was like disgusted because the chick had all that shit in her head. But there was a part of the scene where she ended up taking that shit out. And she natural. I'm like, damn, that bitch kind of fine. Like, I don't like that shit fucking, it bothers me. Fictitious, fraudulent shit bothers me. You know what I'm saying? And I can't fuck with it. I don't, man, it's fucking.
You know, me and you have talked about this plenty of times before in the den. And we have talked about this one-on-one before. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again since it got brought up. I like my woman as natural as possible. Let me explain. Let me just break down the details. I don't want no fake hair, no fake nails, no fake ass, no fake titties, no plastic surgery, no fake eyes, no fake eyelashes, no fake nothing. I don't want to hear that bullshit about changing up your hair and all that crap. It's hard to grow your hair out. Y'all see this long ass beard on my chin? You see that long ass hair on Honcho's head? If we can grow out our shit, you can too. It takes time. It takes some years. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it. If I can walk outside being natural, you can too. And that's another reason why I've been with my wife for so long. She is as natural as possible. If you don't have a big ass, big titties, oh well, God didn't bless you with it. That's what, work with what you were blessed with. You see what I'm saying? Work with what you were blessed with. And I don't mean that in no negative way. I mean, you are who you are, and that's it. Yeah, Honcho, you seen that video I showed you a while back? That one with the big old fake ass walk in front of, what's that, 24-hour fitness, I think it was?
Terrible.
And that thing was just, blah, blah, blah. They just, like, what the fuck? No. Look, at the end of the day, all we're saying is this. Natural beauty is the best beauty. Yeah, you're going to have some men that's going to go after women with the fake asses and fake titties. No, and we talk about those men too. Because they are part of the problem. They are I ain't gonna say the reason, but they are part of the problem. The women who get the fake body parts and the men who goes after them is the problem.
Yeah, them niggas fake. If you like fake shit, you probably fake. There's some fakeness somewhere in your soul.
Yes, and that's why I bring up, like, I'm gonna bring up Beyonce. I do not like Beyonce at all. I can't stand the broad. I hate her with everything there is. But I will respect a lot of things that she has done and not done. And the part that she has not done was alter her body. And it still got her $1 billion husband. So at the end of the day, this is what we are saying. You do not need that crap. Who you are as a person will get you everywhere. So if you feel like you want to do that crap, that's on you. You're going to seek that attention, and you're going to seek the wrong attention, and then you're going to be mad at what happened, and then you're going to blame him, We already know the cycle. This is a repeating cycle every single day, 365, 366 days a year, however many days you want to say it is. It's a never-ending cycle. You go do this to try to get a man's attention. You get his attention. You get the attention of the wrong guy. Now it's his fault. That shit ain't right. Yeah. We know the deal. It's all him and ain't never you. We get it. Whatever. But it's bullshit. All we're saying is this: if we can be natural, you can too. If I can grow out my beard, Honcho can grow out them dreads. Why you can't? Why you can't grow your hair? I'm seeing bald-headed women pick up some dudes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So aren't we bullshit?
Now you gotta know what your head shaped like too. Now, so every style ain't for everybody. You know, everybody can't do the short hair Halle knee long look. It ain't for everybody. You feel me? But you know, try something different. Like the thing is, and I hear a lot of women say, "Oh no, men don't like," but you've never tried. You've never ever tried. You've only gone off of other people's examples, right? And my thing about taking other people's examples is you got to kind of take them with a grain of salt, depending on how well I know you. Because a lot of people will tell you a story. A lot of people will give you an example of something, but they'll leave out big details. Usually their involvement in a negative way of the situation. That's usually kind of what it has. Oh, they said that Beyonce didn't have some work. Oh, okay, well, there you go. She's a survivor. Let me see what you talking about, Beyonce. Funny say, can we talk about the word boring when it comes to how females perceive good men? Oh yes, I did see. I saw that. I saw what was it, Mr. See, I hear all that, but that's boring. Okay, well, Shaolin, shout out to Shaolin, fantastic. Always good to see you, man. That's the thing, though, right? And that's where we live in this life where we want everything to be action packed. We want to live Hollywood movies every day. Boring is consistent. You know what I'm saying? Boring is building. You know what I mean? Boring is the generational wealth. Boring is the acquiring things together and building those empires together. Like people see the rapper get with the actress or the video model, and they're a power. No, the fuck they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a nigga with somebody. Like they have access to certain things you're not gonna have access to. Their paymaster is gonna give them opportunities that you will never have access to. So like people think that's the only way to do it. Or niggas want to be in the hood, the dope boy and the hairdresser or some shit. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but you don't build with excitement, because especially when you building something, there's gonna be ups and downs. It's not always gonna be fun. It's not always gonna be entertaining. Like boring is the way you build. I'm not saying again boring it matters, and then you talk about boring men. I guess in that aspect of Beyond the Funny Nigga, it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Because I get it. People want action and entertainment in their life, but again, you got to think about the negativity that comes with that too. Like there can always be a a negative downside. Because think about it. Let's say you're fun and you like enjoying and having a good time. Let's go to the club. Well, shit, any random night, especially here in the city, having a little bit of excitement, get your ass shot. You feel me? And again, I'm not saying that happens everywhere, depending on where you like to hang out, depending on where you like to be. Had a homegirl the other day, talking about shit, went to a fucking after hours. Chick she went with, standing right next to her, got shot. Like, had nothing to do with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of them had nothing to do with what was going the fuck on. You feel me? But like, because some other motherfuckers get into it, like, so, yeah, those environments are exciting, fun, and entertaining. But they're also the likelihood of you getting into some shit. You know what I'm saying? Drama. Like, me personally, I don't need all that shit, because especially the type of individual I am, it's going to go down a different way for me than it is going to go for a lot of people, you know, if shit goes sideways. You feel me? So that's just kind of how I look at it. So to me, boring is cool. Look, if we boring and we're making progress, hey, I'm with that shit 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to have some action-packed shit going on every day. You know what I'm saying? So.
I can agree with that. Matter of fact, while you're talking about that, me and my wife were watching a show where this woman wanted a divorce from her husband, saying that he don't never like to do anything. And it was a marriage counselor that came out and asked her why she wanted a divorce, and she said it. And then the marriage counselor asked her, how long have y'all been together? I think she said like 13 years or so. It was something, 20 years. It was something like that. I forget exactly how long. But he was asking all these kind of questions to the wife. And the marriage counselor just sit here and said, it sounds like y'all doing good together. It sounds like you love him. You just want excitement. And she said, yeah, I do want some excitement, because all he likes to do, in spare time is read books. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what's wrong with that? That means the man is educated. Since women like to talk about they're educated, sounds like he's educated. Sounds like. Because all he likes to do in his spare time is read books. What's wrong with that? At least you know the man is not in no kind of trouble. 9 times out of 10, he's not going to get shot up when he goes somewhere. People that's not going to be looking for him to try to rob him. All that kind of stuff. Your physical well-being 9 times out of 10 is safe. And I would think that would be more appreciated than being excited. Having all that crazy excitement in your world. Now I get it. I know what you're talking about, excitement, like to go out. You know what I'm saying? You don't need the near-death experience. I get that part, but what I'm saying is, at least you know that this man is handling his business. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing, and you don't have nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? I would think that would be more appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Because I can admit I'm not that exciting my damn self. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, me and my wife, we go do things together, but I'm not a club person. I'm not a drinker. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do none of that stuff. So at the end of the day, me and my wife been together for a long ass time. And she knew that about me when we got together. So I would think that, that would come into play as well. Is there some of the stuff that you want, you know what I'm saying, in your life growing up, don't now also want to flip the script, because once you get into it and you've been into it for a while, no, I want out. Now we can flip the script as men to say, now you want an excuse to leave. It ain't just him, it's you as well. Because that's what it sounds like.
And I see what you're saying. You can be fun and be safe, but I mean, excitement, you have to, define excitement, because women have different ideas of excitement. And some women, when it comes to excitement, are completely retarded. So it's just like you have to be careful. But I mean, going on vacation thing, I don't even view that as exciting. Like, I guess, it's something you do. It's something enjoyable. Like, and you go and have a good time. I guess the way my definition of excitement might be different or something like that. But again, just getting lively emotional reactions out of things, that's not something that happens very often, even sometimes in extreme situations with me. So, yeah, like I said, I'm the kind of same way, Delta. I'll go somewhere, I'll go to a lounge, where you got some more adult types, where you might have to dress up a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna go to no fucking club with a bunch of goofy ass little kids. Like, nah, because somebody ain't making it home the same way they left home. Like, it's always some nonsense in them type of situations. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of little young dumb niggas trying to prove something. Like, niggas go, especially niggas go to the club for all the wrong reasons. Like, niggas don't go to the club to have a good time. Niggas go to the club either to find a lick, to get in some shit because they bored or whatever. Like, niggas don't be really going to have no fucking good time. I'm just gonna go to this whole just to vibe by now. Niggas be looking for static. You know what I'm saying? So,
I agree with that too. I've said that too. When you're young, when you're teens and early 20s, yeah, a lot. That's what a lot of people go to the club for. Let's just be real and honest. Let's just keep it real. But when you in your mid-30s, mid-30s and up, that hardly ever happens. I'm not saying it don't, because it does, but it don't happen as often. I'm gonna put it like that. Because at the end of the day, man, look, I'm not trying to prove a point. I know what I can do. I ain't got to prove it to nobody. If you don't believe it, then you can move on. It is what it is. If you want that excitement, thug type, go ahead, handle your business. More power to you. Congratulations for getting what you want. All that good stuff. Me, at the end of the day, I'm like this. This is what it is with me. Take it or leave it, because I'm not going to change. Take it or leave it. And I agree with you, Honcho. Everybody do have their own definition of excitement. So it all depends. That's why I'm kind of leaving that as a broad statement, because everybody has their own way. of thinking when it comes to that. But me personally, nah, I'm good. I lived this long for a reason, and I'm trying to continue to live this long and be healthy and be in one piece to see my little girl, you know what I'm saying, at least get married.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Yeah, and that's my thing. Like I said, it's especially when you did a lot of living at a younger age. You know what I'm saying? You kind of start to look at things a little bit differently. What is going on here? And so that's kind of where it is. So I guess it takes other people. Some people get out of that phase at different times and different ages. And beyond, we'll get to that. That's definitely a whole subject for a whole another time. But a couple of things going on here. Y'all we got a couch we got to get. Okay, y'all see that up there in that corner? Y'all laying the couch. I see this couch. Why is there a couch floating above Honcho? We got a couch we got to get because I'm trying to revamp some of the things we're doing here in the den, and that's the goal. So if you want to support the goal to the couch, either via Streamlabs, PayPal, or Cash App. And like I said, I appreciate the super chats, but the super chats I don't count those towards it because of the way YouTube handles them. They're a little bit different. A love seat. I want to get a love seat to put here in the den because I don't know. I mean, they might have enough room for a couch, but I'm gonna decorate the background. I'm gonna do some stuff and give the den a little bit more ambiance. Like the clouds thing is cool. The being in the little TV screen thing is cool, but I think the den is growing and evolving, and so with kind of the direction I want to go with it, I don't want to give out all the beans yet, spill all the beans, but I want to change the environment of it up a little bit, and so maybe be a big enough couch that not only I can be there, maybe Scotty will come in and join us and post up on the couch on the time. We'll get more Scotty. Like, we get this couch, we'll get more Scotty. See, Scotty an asshole. He'll come in here, but he'll be on the floor, so he don't want to stick around. Even though his bed is in here, he don't want to fool with that. He gonna go somewhere that's more comfortable. But if there's a couch in there, I ain't gonna be able to get his ass up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Man, look, we can look on the throwback dens, and I know people have been asking about a particular kind of den, the way the den started. Those things will be happening on the OnlyFans. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just certain things that I'm going to be doing on OnlyFans. Like I say, the more y'all will get kind of the more raw, uncut. I know people keep hearing the word OnlyFans, so y'all have like this negative association. I'm not getting naked on no goddamn OnlyFans. Ain't no fucking adult entertainment happening on the OnlyFans. But y'all gonna get that more raw, uncut Honcho there because, like, y'all know the tube. Y'all know the tube is going to the family friendly shit. So I'm just trying to fucking. I'm trying to follow the guidelines here so the growth and promotion can happen for the den. You know what I'm saying? But the person I want to be, the person I want to really let loose and just, be very opinionated. I just kind of got to keep it kind of right here. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm bringing it all back the way the people want it. Yeah, be fucking falling off my ass with a bunch of video games in the background. We're gonna do it like we used to. But like I say, so make sure y'all sign up. Like I say, it's free. The OnlyFans is free. It ain't no fucking nothing to it. Like I said, I just want to get that thing going. So make sure y'all sign up for that OnlyFans /Ed Honcho. But yeah, man. So like I say, it was a couple other things that I had jotted down. I wanted to make sure that we talked about. Oh, with that educational thing and how she mentioned about women getting older and not want to have the kids then right there. And then what I think happens with that situation is really a weird thing because I know somebody in this situation right now, a friend of my old lady in this situation currently, and the problem is, and this is what I say, is instead of she's well off, she does pretty good for herself, educated, has a good job, independent woman, own home, all this. I don't think she has any kids, but is going through the trauma. I think she's in her early 40s. She actually just had a birthday. And going through a situation where you're having kind of men issues, wanting to get married, and trying to figure out why you can't. And I be hearing some of the little side shit going on. Well, it's obvious why you're not because of what you did there, what you did there, what you did here. And then, how you are trying to handle the individual that, you're in a relationship with. And then, too, like the standard that you set for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a whole thing. I'm sorry, what I miss? This guy's gonna be a black dog for Halloween. Then meet and greet. I'm a terrible host. I ain't even show up for the virtual meet and greet. We need to do that soon, though. But you know, like I said, and so what happens is now all of a sudden, oh, the men ain't this and they ain't that, and you know, I'm trying to do this. Well, you've set an agenda. You've set a plan for yourself. Like, you can't be mad because this man has made, you know, whatever plans or whatever's going on. Oh, look, the clouds disappear. Look, I'm telling you, I had to switch the programs that I used to stream on. So, you know, if stuff is falling apart in the background, it's partially my fault. But, you know, and so she's struggling and mad and upset because ain't nobody trying to jump and do this. Well, they need to hurry up and do this. Nobody needs to hurry up and do anything. Like, these are the choices that you made, and you now have to deal with the outcome. But what happens is most women fail to see that, hey, I got to be responsible for my actions. This is the path that I chose. Now all of a sudden it's some man's fault because he's not doing this and he's not doing that. He didn't tell you to do what you did. You know, he's not telling you to behave the way you are. He's not telling you to make the choices that you're making. You don't get to be independent and get all the credit and all the benefits for the good decisions you make. And then when something's not turning out the way that you wanted, now all of a sudden it's this man's fault, it's his fault, it's everybody else's fault in the world. And I know many women say, oh, that's not true, it's not happening. I need y'all to stop thinking as you and start looking around at your female friends, because this is happening. You know, men ain't just making this shit up. Like, what benefit do we get to make stuff up about women and say crazy stuff? Because the end goal, niggas is trying to smash. Men trying to fuck something. Or if they are they're in a family mindset, they're trying to build their legacy. Like, so we don't get any benefit from just shitting on women. Like, y'all think we do for some reason, but we don't. There's a lot of terrible women out there. Same way women get no benefit from shitting on men, but y'all do it in a worse way than what we do, because men are shit on women for their bad behavior. And then other women will come up there and say, oh, well, she shouldn't be judged for that. Y'all will shit on men for things that they have no control over. Height, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, particular looks like, well, if he's not well endowed, right? But let somebody say something about you being flat chested. Oh, it's a sin. It's wrong. And then somebody say, oh, you look at that pancake butt. Oh, you shouldn't talk about her body. But women will go and they'll say it's okay to talk about and make fun of a man's sexual organs, right? But if a man says something about a woman's weight, which is something you control, like, you know, I can't control the vertical, but I can control whether or not I'm you know, expanding horizontally. That I can control. And you say something. What's the rule? You should never ask a woman her age and her weight. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
okay.
So that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you ain't supposed to. You can't ask her. Like, all this shit's supposed to be secretive. Like this secret club of things that you ain't supposed to ask them. But when it comes to men, the first thing coming out are some of the more intimate, more personal things. What do you do? How much money you make? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not fucking you yet. Like, why is this any of your business? Like, why does this matter? You know what I'm saying? If men made decisions on women like that, boy, do you understand the uproar that would happen if men judge women the way that women judge men? If men start saying, oh, well, you're not working this particular kind of job, or you're not making this kind of money, you know, it wouldn't matter, because let's be honest about the sex and the pussy department. Pussy is pussy, right? If you stroke off in any woman long enough, eventually you go bust a nut. Some may take a little bit longer than others, but you keep on pushing, you'll eventually get there. You know what I'm saying? And so let's be real. When it comes to fucking, let's be honest, man. The man is doing all the work, unless you know she's offering some form of oral services. If we're talking about physicality and penetration, the man is doing all the work. So like, that's why I don't understand when women start getting off. Oh, I got this good pussy. Woo, woo, woo. I'm doing all the goddamn work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you busting multiple before I get mine. How is your pussy? I'm slanging the dick over here. That's what's going down. Like, yeah, it's cool. I appreciate, you know, you allowing me through the entrance, but I'm here to remodel the home. You feel me? I'm the man putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't let me in your house. I remodel everything, have it looking good, looking great, and you get to say, man, I did a good job because I picked a good fucking contractor. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't work. That's not how that shit goes. Like, no. Hey, I got a great fucking contractor. He made my home look immaculate. I'm so proud. I'm so happy to be. Like, that's how that fucking works. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want credit for picking the contractor. I got this good pussy. Like, or here's the double standard. Here's the real crazy shit, right? Here's the real crazy shit. Pussy be super good. That's what y'all swear. I got the good pussy. It's great. Woo, woo, woo. But if the nigga come too fast. Oh, he ain't shit. He ain't this, he ain't that. I thought, what happened to the good pussy? What I thought the pussy was so good that he couldn't handle it. What happened? So now he ain't shit because he couldn't. I don't understand. I'm lost.
Oh, man.
Exactly, Baker man. You already know, babe. You say, when are we going to talk about the negative? We talk about the negative. Anytime we have these conversations, we talk about the negative. We talk about bullshit ass niggas. Like, because see, here's what happens. And why women say, oh, y'all never talk about the negative of men. Because we talk about it, we pinpoint it, and we acknowledge it immediately. There's no way to sit here and just keep saying Nick, man, or shit, man. Like, we've addressed it. So, like, when nobody's denying that, when nobody's saying, hey, well, he's got 5 kids with 5 different women, but he might be a really good dad. He might be like, nobody's saying any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's saying, like, we're like, that nigga's a shit ass nigga. So we can't continue to like harp on it if we've all come into an agreement. What happens while we keep talking about women is we'll say something and men feel this particular way. And there'll be some women who agree and there'll be some women who disagree. And there'll be maybe a man or two here who may disagree. He hadn't quite crossed that path yet. But what happens is women say, no, this ain't right, and not all, and you know, and then it's all the caveats start coming out, right? And that's where the problem lies. Like, we're never ever sit here and say that they're scumbag, leeching ass, trash ass, don't want to be nothing, will be perpetual children for the rest of their lives. Men out there. But then again, if I want to be on some hoe shit, what kind of homes do most of those men come from? You know what I'm saying? And why do they behave that way? So if we want to keep going back, like we can really get into it. But the thing is, we've never denied that there are shitty men out there. Like, we pointed out, we talk about it all the time, especially even in the Discord. Like, but once you've pointed that out and we're all in agreement and we're all in acknowledgement, what's the purpose of continuing to talk about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of the thing. So that's why y'all feel like we don't be shitting on niggas enough, but we do, and we address it. It's clear and concise.
Here's the thing, though, Honcho. Trill said this all the time. We do go after these hoe ass ends. We do. Men will say, okay, yeah, there are some weak ass men who lazy, don't want to work, having babies all over the place, blah, blah, blah. And we will talk shit. Like Infinity just said in the chat, men will confront other men in a heartbeat. Yes, we will. We will tell you what's up in a minute. But women will not do that to other women. And women gets mad when a man do it. See, when we are forced to look in the mirror, we will look in the mirror and we will say, okay, what are you talking about? Okay, let me try to see what I can do here and say here and change this and all that good shit. But when it comes to women, if another woman confronts her, or she just jealous, want to be like me. If a man confronts her, or he just mean he's an asshole, he don't know what good woman is, all that nonsense. So it's like, Trill asked this question a long time ago, who can tell women the truth? He said nobody. I say women. You don't want to listen to me or another woman, you can only tell yourself the truth. And say, okay, why is all this happening in my life? Women don't do that. You just brought it up. Women will say it's his fault. I ain't doing nothing wrong. I did what I was supposed to do. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, you might have done what you're supposed to do, but along that way, what step did you take that could have been prevented, or you could have changed, or blah, 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 all that good stuff. See, women don't do that stuff. We do. We evaluate ourselves on a constant basis. Correct. You see what I'm saying? We look, and other men, it's been plenty of times I'm going to bring up Trill, for example, so I just seen him in the chat. I don't know how long he's been watching, but it's been plenty of times me and Trill have one-off conversations, and now me and him start talking. He'll give his opinion on some things. I give my opinion. And he'll say, well, let me tell you what I think about this and blah, blah, blah. See what I'm saying? I tell this to my wife all the time. women need to tell other women the truth. I really do believe that will start, that's just my opinion, that will start the evaluation process of other women. Because we have gone so long, oh, she's beautiful, she's perfect, she ain't nothing wrong with her, she's the most wonderful thing in the world, all that crap. When we all know that's a damn lie. She don't have no flaws. No, women need to tell other women the truth. And women do need to take a hard look in the mirror and say, okay, why is nothing that I want that I want to happen in my life happening? See, I told y'all the story a long time ago what happened with me and my first wife, and I said and evaluated, was it something I did or did not do? Even though I'm not the one who cheated, she did. I still sit there and thought about it. Was it something going on that I could have changed or prevented or all that good stuff? You still have to do these self-evaluations of yourself. And I really do think that women need to tell other women the truth. That's just how it's going. That's just my personal opinion. That's how I think things will change. Because I was watching this video the other day of this woman sitting here saying that in her 20s, in her mid-20s, she would get with all kinds of guys. She didn't care, blah, blah, blah. Now she's in her early 40s and she wants to settle down and get married, and she can't find a man to marry her. And she wants to know why. Well, guess what? When you portray yourself a certain way, no matter how old you get, no matter where you move, people can, I guess you could say, feel that vibe on you. They can tell. I don't know, think she's marriage material. I don't know if I can trust her. Or, whatever it may be. It might be your conversation, might be your body language, might be how you act in certain situations, whatever it may be. So you gotta sit here and say, okay, is this the life I want to live for the rest of my life? If I want to, and when I get ready to do this and do that, can I, you got to do those things. So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is this, Honcho, you are right. Men will say, okay, for the example, I'm pretty sure y'all heard this story. This man, I think he was in Atlanta, Georgia. Literally, this is no exaggeration. This man had 30 some odd kids with like 20 some different women. Literally. Y'all don't believe me? Go look it up. And he got a self-evaluation from, I can't think of this lady's name right now, but anyway, and he was sitting there, he was like, I know I messed up. I shouldn't have been doing stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. And at least he was like being real and saying, yeah, he did all that, knowing damn well that he shouldn't, but at least he's honest with himself. Now, when you see these women with 4, 5 different kids from different men, oh, he's a whole ass motherfucker. He's sorry, blah, blah, blah. You don't sit there and sit back and look at yourself and say, you know what? I made the mistake once. I'm not going to do it again. I'm finna get my shit straight. I'm finna make sure he getting his shit straight before we decide to do anything together. See, women don't do that shit. It's all his fault. All right, Honcho, go ahead and answer her question.
Okay. There's a couple of things that I wanna touch on. And one, Miss Cartier, I would love for y'all to be, but the women aren't in agreement. The women don't agree on nothing. We're trying. But Miss Nikki motherfucking Nicole, you said, what is the advice that you give these younger? You say to throw the nigga back to the street if he let me read it verbatim so that way I could. He said, question, since the girl is wrong for telling women to send a nigga back to the streets for not having money and education doesn't matter, what positive advice do you have to offer these girls? That's a very easy question, right? One, you shouldn't be searching the streets for niggas in the first place. You know what I'm saying? If she's so educated and all that, why is she not trying to find someone of who is also of similar ilk? You know what I'm saying? Well, since she doesn't carry herself like that, because that's not necessarily how she views herself. She views herself a different way. That's the kind of niggas that she wants. I would not advise, and I'm not saying that education doesn't matter. Of course, education helps you grow and improve. Education does not matter to men when it comes to how they view a woman. So my thing is this. It's fine to go and get educated. But don't use that as some type of, grading system or some type of measurement that makes you feel like, well, I'm superior to this man because I went a few years to some college and got, indoctrinated with whatever belief, you know what I'm saying, or learned whatever skill. Because, there's a lot of people who are educated on the job, so they may not have a degree, but they've been working this craft, for 10 years, and they're going to know more than whoever, some motherfucker who comes out of a 4-year college with only theory and no application, and who comes in and tries to get on the job. Well, that person may have a higher degree than them, and they may think that they've done something, but that you can even take just 4 years of work. 4 years of work compared to 4 years of college it's not even the same. And so that's the problem. That's where education with women, like women view education as a tool that makes them better than certain men, than mainly blue collar men. So that's where we're saying that education doesn't matter. A man's looking at you, he's not, I can't wait she take all them clothes off and show me them degrees. Ooh, that shit gonna get my dick hard. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? And there's not gonna tell, and associates, that's all you have? You disgust me, you filthy whore. No, it's not, no, like, no, niggas no cares about that, dog. Like, no niggas don't be like, oh man, I've never gone back to one of my partners, man, say my nigga, this bitch got a master's, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to master that ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, nobody does that. Like, nobody cares in that form. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean, right? What it is that, yes, for you as an individual, your education matters because it helps you get to that next plateau. What I would advise young women is to find out who you are. Because I don't think there are a lot of women who are truly individuals these days. I think most women copy and emulate other women. That's why you see these weird looks nowadays, all the makeup. And honestly, women, y'all start off emulating and copying the gays and then start doing like something. But that's something I've never understood, right? And let me be cool because, like I said, certain conversations I'm not going to have. But that's something I've never understood. Like, why do women get makeup and fashion advice from motherfuckers who don't even like you, who would replace you if possible? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do y'all get advice from gay people? Like, and this is not to like shit on gay people or anything like that. I just don't understand. Like, the dynamic to me makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? Jen, what's the motherfucking deal? It makes no sense to me. Like, I don't understand. Like, how can a man who wants to be what you are, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, there's all different letters and different means. Don't come with the technicality. Not all. Let me make sure I say not all, so everybody's comfortable and happy. But a man who would want to replace what you are tells you how to be what you need to be, how to be the best version of you. Like, that shit blows my fucking mind. And that's taking me way off track. But what I would advise is be yourself, learn how to find happiness, but not in a materialistic way, because that's never true happiness. Most women, and what that chick is preaching is materialism. Like, no materialistic person is ever happy. They always need more. They always need more because you have to continue to feed that. My best friend used to always say, man, new shit turn to old shit quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, new shit turn to old shit quick. Like, it's always something new. It's always something more. You get the fucking latest J's with some more dropping in 2 weeks. You get this, it's something else coming. The next fucking iPhone coming out in 2 months. You just bought the fucking 12 to 13 come out tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when you base yourself off materialism, which is the majority of black women right now, and I would say the majority of black people, especially if you listen to the music and the shit that we push, a lot of the people that are pushed out there to the forefront. I think there is what's the term that they use with Trump, silent majority? Well, with black people, I think there's a silent minority of black people who do things, I don't want to say the right way, but probably not what mainstream media pushes out to them. You know what I'm saying? And those black people are happier. I look at couples, I look at different things like, shout out to Miss Fresh and Sassy. Y'all have heard her come in and call the time. I watch her channel every now and then. Like, I go over there, try to steal some little vegan recipes. I ain't gonna use them, but I'm gonna watch. The shit look good. You know what I'm saying? But I love the fact that she posts conversations with her husband, like after dinner, and share that. She's been happily married for a long time. Why? People don't want to look at women like that, or other women don't want to look at women like that. They want to look at the Kim Kardashians and all of these things, thinking that they're happy, right? Well, y'all know the vitriol and the hate that comes with that attention. Like, but y'all don't be wanting that shit. Y'all just want the good, right? Kim Kardashian, like, and I don't know a whole lot other than being with Kanye. Like, I know, helping people out and all that other shit. But like I don't be caring about a lot of shit. But what I do know is that a lot of motherfuckers hate on her. But a lot of people want to be the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so when she got the little fake injections and all that shit, what started happening? Women all over the place, black, white, green, gray, purple, fake assing, waist snatching, titty revamping, you know what I'm saying? Like all that other shit going on. Like, and now you got a bunch of lumpy Kardashian lookalikes around here. Some of these motherfuckers just lopsided and shit. Like, be yourself. That's what be my advice, man. Figure out who you are. You don't have to be who society tells you to be. Figure out what it is that makes you happy. You don't want to be a fucking superwoman. You ain't got to be no goddamn superwoman. If you want to be a house, that's what you achieve to want to be, then that's okay. Because society tells you now that that's a bad thing. Society tells you now that's a terrible, being a housewife. Oh, you're not living up to your potential. You're not doing, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if that's what you want to be, then you have to learn how to be that. But let me run back real quick to the thing I was saying about my old lady's friend. And my old lady, she listens to a lot of stuff, and she's definitely made changes along the way too. And then we both, grow. We have to grow. You have to grow. This is how it is. But she listens to like podcasts about marriage and like couples and things that they've done and overcome. And, sometimes we'll have a little issue. She'll share something with me, and I'll check it out. Like, all right, let me see how they, get advice from people who've done it. Women, and especially our black women, will go listen to a bitch who ain't never been married, can't keep a man for more than 2 months, and like because she's getting a lot of attention or because she look a certain way and think that she knows what's going on. And this bitch is miserable. The bitch be miserable, but because she puts that image out there to y'all, people believe that she's happy. And this motherfucker be contemplating suicide every night, drinking the whole fucking gallon of wine and popping pills and shit. Like, but to y'all, she look happy. All I'm saying is, like, whatever the little one wants to grow up and be, whatever she wants to do, I'm going to support it 100%. But there's going to be rules and protocols around here. Two, when it comes to what I would say, too, choose better men. Like, quit. Your value system is flawed, right? And again, if you can judge a man for his resources, and that's what you're going to base it on, then you cannot be offended when he judges you or objectifies you, right? That's all that matters. Like, that's all that matters. If you only care about money and resources, then don't be mad if all he cares about is your body. And if your body ain't up to par, he moves on. If you don't keep it up the way he got you, and he move on. Like, that's the ideology. Most women only care about, well, I got some ass and some titties. That's what he want. Okay, well, them titties gonna sag. You know what I'm saying? Or that ass gonna leak or whatever if it's real. If it ain't real, or whatever's going on. So it's like, man, y'all be thinking this shit. And men like this shit, but that ain't all that it is to it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I mean, but y'all gotta understand, like, my old lady ain't like most chicks. Like, I could pull up some of this shit, like the shit like Man Up was saying. Like, I could pull up something like Man Up sent me or Professor Trill sent me, and I put this shit on and watch it. Yeah, she's gonna be in agreement. The same shit that I'm saying, or the same shit that we talk. She's gonna be in agreement with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because one, like I say, just really one sitting down, talk to, chop it up with her. That's why I say, that was the thing that attracted me in the first place, was the mentality and the willingness to learn, the willingness to adapt and understand some shit. Like, that's what I'm saying. So a lot of women don't want to hear it. If it comes from a man, they automatically cut it off. I get it. That's fine. But I think that you should open up and listen, especially, when everybody's hollering, ain't no good men, but y'all are all chasing after a certain type of dude. When there's lots of good men, there's lots of dudes who want to be good fathers, who want to establish a family, lots of dudes who would never do this, that, or third to you, but because they were boring, initially when they were younger, and they focused on education. That's the funny thing, too. Say a man ain't in the streets, he's focused on education, he's a square, he's a loser, he's a lame. Say this man go off to college, oh, he's whack, he's this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Until he has that job, and then now he's doing good for himself. You know what I'm saying? Now, all of a sudden. But it's the same thing with women is, oh, well, we're supposed to give you rewards for doing the same thing. Now, all of a sudden, as you go get your little degree, oh, now, you queen of the hill. but it doesn't work. That's what I'm saying. Like there's the double standards are the problem. It's not that you're doing any of these things. It's just when you compare them, or if you were to reverse the roles, the treatment is not going to be the same for men, and that's the problem men have with this, not any of the other stuff.
That's exactly what I was just going to say when the roles are reversed. I was just going to say that. Look, at the end of the day, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Honcho hit the nail on the head. We view women a different way. Women view us as having money, being successful, and want to jump into that ship. How about y'all build it up together? You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, me and my wife, we building the things up together. I told y'all my future plans. Hopefully it happens. Don't know if it will. My future plans in the next 5 years, if so, me and my wife plan on retiring and getting our business, up and running much better than what it is now. So those are plans that we are doing together. See, when you come into it and you think it just because you got a nice shape, you got a nice figure, a nice body, all that, that's what he wants. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. Don't get me wrong. We love it. We like it. But it's more to it than that. And the thing is this here. The thing is this. Like we started off the show on talking about when the woman's making more money, it's called dating down. But when the man is making more money, it's called handling his responsibilities. See, it's the same thing, same topic, but it's degrading when it's flipped around. When it's the woman making more money, I ain't giving no broke ass man. But you never hear a man say he don't want to give no broke ass woman. We just say we don't want to get with a lazy woman. That's what we say. You know what I'm saying? We do want a woman that's going, you know what I'm saying, that's going to, not just lay around on the damn couch eating and watching TV. No. But at the end of the day, all we're saying is this. Don't flip the script on us when now it's your turn. That's why I named my video with great power comes great responsibility, because at the end of the day, all we're saying is this. If, excuse me, if you want to do all this, you don't want to depend on a man, that's great. We encourage you to go do this. But don't have that mindset of now, I don't want this, I don't want that. Because you never heard a man say no shit like that. Y'all tell us that if we don't want you, it's something wrong with us. So now we are telling you, come on now. We're not shitting on ladies, Miss Nikki Nicole. We're not shitting on ladies. Because Honcho just said it, and I said it too. I be watching these videos with my wife sitting right next to me. A lot of these videos I make, my wife is sitting right next to me while I'm making it. I'm trying to get my wife to join in on one with me, but maybe that happen. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway. And just like Honcho said, she be in agreement too. She be looking at these women with these big old fake asses and be like, that's ridiculous. And I tell her the same thing I'm sitting here telling y'all. I think women need to open up and tell other women the truth. Don't just say it behind their back. Tell women the truth. That looks ridiculous.
But other women have to be receptive to it also, because that's the issue my old lady has with her friend. Because she tries to tell her, like I was mentioning with Pasta, she's like, her friend listens to some crazy shit, some crazy chick she was talking about. Like, that's where she gets her advice from. And that chick focuses more on appearances and this. And of course, the chick is single. But like my old lady says, well, hey, maybe you should try to listen to, wives, women who are actually married, who are, doing these things, who are happily married. Maybe you start changing your element, because a lot of women believe, well, I'll become that wife once he marries me. Like, it's just going to be a switch that's going to flip, once a ring gets put on it. And I agree, T. Woods, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. When you say women desire men that are superior, and you value men that have more, like, I agree. I mean, that's how it should be. And I understand it. But there should never be, the double standard should not be applied if it flips. Like, so you shouldn't feel like, what we're saying is that no man feels superior to a woman because he makes more than her. If he does, or whatever, like, I don't feel like I'm better than any broad for, just stupid reason. Like, I'm naturally stronger, so I'm not better than a woman because I'm stronger than she is. It don't make me better. Then that means I have to assume the responsibility if a situation where danger occurs. If this is my woman or this is someone I'm concerned about, then I need to assume the role of the protector, because I'm going to be the strongest in the vicinity or whatever it's going to be. I want my woman to be happy. I want her to have nice things. All of these things come with that. But when there is this expectation, right, that's a problem. But then when the roles are reversed and it's the woman that role, now all of a sudden, well, I'm better than this man, or, he ain't shit because of, this, that, and the third. That's what we're saying. That's the issue. It's not about making more. It's not about necessarily being better. If you're better than somebody, it's because you're just better than somebody. I do believe that there are people who are better than other people, but because I make more money than you doesn't make me more special in the dating arena. That shouldn't be a factor. Like, it should be what you're about. Now, if I make more money than you, suffering because you're lazy and you lackluster and you just ain't trying to do shit, then that's a problem, like man have said. But if maybe you just haven't had some opportunities, maybe you haven't had that man come along and motivate you to point out what you may not have been seeing in yourself and then help you, amp that up, then that's something different. Like, there's different dynamics. But what we're saying as a man, we don't shut down those dynamics because of the compensation. And here's another thing real quick, right? They just said women making all the money, women getting all the education. But didn't somebody tell me there's a wage gap? There's like a huge wage gap, right? I'm confused. Anyway, we'll come back to that. So that's all I'm saying is that women get it back. So when women are doing better, they look down on people, right? When men are doing better, it's just, there's not that. That's all we're saying. And then I believe that, you said that, Nick, you said, get your own shit. Or help him build since he needs help and can't do it by himself to be established before he pursues a woman. See, that's another thing. Again, a double standard. There's lots of women out there with nothing going on, right? Without a whole lot going on. Could be doing some of the bare minimum. Barely got herself together. Out there, I've known women with multiple kids in their house, not taking the best care of their kids because they're so concerned with trying to find another man, trying to find and get somebody else. But nobody says anything to them. We had a conversation about this a while back, and somebody was saying, well, they should be entitled to love too, and they shouldn't have to be judged because of the amount of kids they have, and, and all that. And that's fine. You're right. They shouldn't. I'm not going to do it because if I come into a situation I don't have any kids, it's going to be hard for me to go more than one, right? Like, one was a lot for me. So for me to do more than that, that's a thing. But then I've seen women say, oh, well, he ain't shit if he can't deal with me and my kids. What kind of logic is that, right? And this is all we're trying to point out is the double standard. Like, if this was a man, you know what I'm saying? I've seen women say, oh, if a man got if he got more than one, I can't do it. But you got kids. But you expect men to be like, so I don't understand it. Like, again, and so that's all we're pointing out. It's not about hating on or shitting on or saying, oh, you shouldn't do this. But again, if you reverse that statement you made, if you said a woman shouldn't look for a man until she's established. How many people agree with that? Let's just throw that. Let's do a quick poll. 0 for no, 1 for yes. How many people agree in here? A woman should not look for a man or have children until she's established. Let me know.
Define established.
Because a job, a home, her own car, basically all the basic adulting things that people do. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You said that was a yes, but fact, yeah, and I agree. And then here's my thing: I'm all with the traditional thing, and I'm with everything that comes with that. My biggest beef these days is modern women want the men to behave traditionally, but they get to behave.
They don't.
They don't want the traditional behavior.
Yeah.
So again, it comes down to perception. So if you don't want the traditional behavior for yourself, then let's throw the whole everything traditional out the window and let's rock with it. But if you're going to expect men to carry that traditional behavior, then you should be willing to accept that role too, and that's the problem.
Let me throw this out here. It was a perfect example. You remember that old TV show called Eve?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. There was a episode on there where Eve was telling her boyfriend that she's an old-fashioned woman. She expects the man to pay, expects the man to do this and do that. So then he said, okay, well, I expect to have my dinner ready. I expect to have the house clean when I get home. And she looked at him and said, hell no, I ain't doing none of that. Mm-hmm. And he literally said this to her. You can't have it both ways. You can't say you old-fashioned, want me to do this and do that. But then when I want it old-fashioned, you don't want to do this and do that. That's not how life works. It don't work just in your favor. It goes for men and women. It goes the way that it's supposed to go down the line. If you want it, if you want things a certain way, expect things to be the way you want it and not the way you want it. They're gonna go hand in hand. If you want to be old fashioned, you want him to treat you and love you and do this and all that crap. Okay, what is he gonna get in return? And I'll try to make another video about that because I saw give y'all a spoiler alert. I don't know where I'm gonna make it, but I was gonna make a video about this because I saw this thing where this woman got upset that a man asked her, "What do she bring to the table?" Matter of fact, Trill sent me that, and I was trying to do a little bit more research on it before I said anything about it. But here's the thing: what we want to know exactly what it is that we're getting ourselves into. You cannot have it just your way. You cannot sit here and just tell me that you want me to do this and do that. Then when I tell you I want you to do something, you get upset. It's not how this thing gonna work. If you want me to do something, I'm gonna want you to do the same thing. If you don't want me to do something, more than likely, I'm not gonna want you to do it too. At the end of the day, you have your wants and needs, I'm gonna have mine. If you don't want that, then okay. More than likely, you're gonna be alone. That's just how this thing gonna work. It's not gonna be always in your favor. As a matter of fact, I did a video about this here too. I don't know if you saw it, Honcho. Steve Harvey was teaching this little boy on how to be a simp for women. Steve asked this little boy, where he gonna take her on where's the best place to take a woman on a date? And the little boy say, anywhere she wants to go. I don't care if I don't want to go. I'm still gonna take her. It's like, that's not how this thing works. So you mean to tell me it's okay to give you what you want, but I can't get what I want? You mean to tell me that I gotta make you happy, but I'm not gonna be happy? That's not how this thing works. And Beyonce, that boy gonna be gay. Okay.
I ain't seen it. It's unfortunate, but I haven't seen that one. But no, and I agree, and that's all we're asking for, man. In this day and age, honestly, and like I mentioned, there's trade-offs in everything.
Yes.
That's how the world works. Nobody gets to be on the like, I wouldn't even want to be on the receiving end of everything. Like, it feels good to give. It feels good to do. It feels good to support. It feels good to help. It feels good to protect. Like, to know that, when somebody has their faith in you and that you accomplish those goals and you're living up, like, that's a powerful feeling. You know what I mean? But it's different because, again, like we say, it's a lot of women out here, and I blame a lot of social media because there's a lot of women out here that do a lot of comparing, and they think, they're looking at every fucking celebrity and saying, oh, well, that's what's going on with them. My relationship needs to be like that. And then they wonder why they're miserable because, again, they look at what the woman is receiving and they compare themselves to her. Well, I'm just as much woman as she is, but they're not really looking at what's really being done because there's things that are probably going on behind the scenes. There are things that are probably going on, that she's doing. A lot of these celebrity women, they do work out. If they're not getting surgery or something, they'll, depending on what they work out or they do these things to keep themselves up. I'm sure they're doing some wild stuff in the bedroom, and don't be surprised if they bring in some friends and some other things going. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on to keep these type of men that they're with entertained that you'll never hear about, especially in the Hollywood sector. And it's a lot of stuff that some of y'all may not be willing to do. But aside from all that, if you temper your expectations to reality, you don't have to do all of that shit. Like, if you're willing to accept, say, hey, you know what? If I'm going to be with somebody and you to be in a commitment, a relationship, a marriage, or whatever, you are giving all of you to that person, and that person is giving all of them to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, their body is your body is their body. You become one. But if you're not operating on the same mind, the same accord, it's going to be problems. If you're not willing to do those little trade-offs, if you're not willing to supplement where they're lacking, if they're not willing to supplement where you're lacking, hey, if they're not willing to point out flaws and help each other in a constructive manner, like, there's going to be trouble. There's a lot of people, wait, what's the motherfucking deal? There's a lot of people who want all the titles and want all the things, but they feel like they need to be accepted just as they are. you have to grow in anything. You have to learn to become whatever you become in whatever profession you're in. In the same manner, you have to learn to become a husband. You have to learn to become a wife. But when you spend, and men, I mean, most of the responsibilities that men have in life are in training to become a husband anyway. But with women, again, like especially with the homes being the way they are now, the lack of stability, like for instance, the lack of etiquette classes and things like that. Now women are kind of looking anywhere for advice, and we can talk about the sexual liberation and all these other things. Well, I'm not knocking you from doing that. We need hoes. Like we need hoes. We need ladies. You know, we don't need bitches, but they exist. So I'm not mad at anybody out there fucking, but you know just as well as anybody else the consequences of fucking. And that's what baffles me is when, you know, you out there, you fucking around, you promiscuous or whatever, and then bam, you know, you end up with a seed or two. And, you know, well, it's somebody else's fault. Well, you participated in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole thing is just about accepting your role in every situation. And when you do that, you naturally acquire more power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hoes, stand back and stand by.
What?
Jen sent me something of me. It was fucking hilarious. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here in just a second. We've been talking a lot, so we ain't gonna do no call-ins today. We gonna keep it rolling and finish up here because it's been a good conversation, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been real good. So I want to say shout out to Mr. Man Up and everybody in the chat who's been real active because y'all have definitely been holding this down. And I want to say shout out to Pisces Moon, and I want to say shout out to Brown Becky for the Cash App love. So y'all see, we 155 away from the couch. Again, if you want to participate in couch support, use the Cash App, the Streamlabs, or the PayPal to go to that. I forgot my password. I had to put my social medias back on my shit. I ain't want to do it, but it's a necessary evil when it comes to this stuff. But again, like I say, ladies, we're not against y'all. We're not against rap. We're not against rappers, but we are against those hoes. But you know, so my thing is this, right? But all we're saying is that, like, you don't. I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you think you're going to be the bad bitch and the wife, I'm going to be honest with you. Your chances of having success are going to be slim. And women are more concerned these days with being bad bitches and all these other things more so than the wife, right? But then you get to that age, you know, that clock starts ticking and everything else that starts going with that. And then you want to be treated this way, but, you know, you've lived a certain way. It doesn't, because you made a decision to change, doesn't mean everybody's going to acclimate to that. You have to work.
Perfect example. Mia Khalifa. Y'all know what it is she used to do. Now, every time somebody brings it up, she wants to catch an attitude, wants to try to make people forget that she used to do that because now she's in the sports radio hosting.
Oh, shit, she went back to porn. You heard her. She went back.
I did not.
Yeah, she went back. She went back to porn. She got her OnlyFans. Speaking of OnlyFans, OnlyFans.com/EdHuncho. Make sure y'all sign up. It's free. Look, so I can talk about shit. Like, see, I might need to talk about Mia Khalifa, and I can't talk about her the way I want to here on the tube. But on the fans, you know, I can explicitly explain these things. Are y'all not understanding why y'all need to sign up for the OnlyFans? Y'all think I'm just saying this to be saying it. You need to sign up for the OnlyFans. If y'all start missing out on shit, that's your own damn fault. Because I'm telling y'all, like, I'm going to start being real cool on the tube. It's just going to be real mellow, real PG, maybe PG-13. But we gonna take the OnlyFans all the way. It's free. Like, sign up for the shit. It's fucking free. Just be a part of that. Like I said, we gonna take that conversation to the next level. But yeah, so she back in the porn thing because that's where she was winning at, right? So
I didn't know that. Yeah. I just know it because I've seen a couple of videos where some people she was doing this because you know she's a Florida State fan, Florida State Sentinels, and a couple people called in on her radio show and asking her about it. She just got heated, hung up the phone on, cursing them out and all that stuff. Like, wait a minute. And I also saw reports that she was trying to get all these companies to delete her past.
Nah, you sign that contract.
And
That's on
know,
you, Pippin. And so the thing is, it's
yeah,
out there. Like it ain't that shit. That shit does not get deleted. Like even if these motherfuckers deleted what they had, their copies of they shit, like it's out there. It's on somebody's hard drive somewhere. And I'm laughing if y'all don't get the reference. This is from what was it the first debate, I think, when they were trying to tell Trump to denounce white supremacy. Or he was like, who? And they said the Proud Boys. And he was like, Proud Boys, denounce them or whatever. It's like, stand back and stand by. So if y'all didn't get the reference, that shit is fucking hilarious to me.
I get it.
That's definitely the message. Look, that's how nigga be too. When you on there, when you get out the game, you're like, I don't know. She might be the one. All my hoe, y'all look, y'all stand back. Y'all don't stand by. I'm gonna change the name in the phone. I'll say the number, but I won't say the name. I might need to forget you. But no, but like I say, man, ultimately, like when we have these discussions, and if y'all realize, like it's never an attack on women. We attack a certain type of woman, and I need to get better. I need to start using females. When we have a certain reference, it needs to be females and women, and then when we get more specific, ladies, bitches, and hoes. But when we're talking about females, we refer to a certain type of female. The women, the ladies, y'all shouldn't be upset. It should be no defending of these women. Like when we're talking about this, like I always say, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. So like what I mean that why we're not in disagreement is because we're talking about a specific type of woman, but we have these conversations. There's always ladies, well, what about this, and this? And it's like, okay, but these are not good traits. These are not good features. Or even if you think they are, even if you may believe they are, if you're out seeking a man, well, we're going to tell men don't find these things valuable. Men don't find these things as assets, benefits, or pluses in a relationship. And that's all we're saying. So it's like you can keep doing whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, that's the beautiful thing about advice. It's like a snack tray. You know what I'm saying? We can put this bitch out here. And, you can take the little snacks you like, and the shit you don't like, leave it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want none of it, don't eat none of the snacks. You know what I mean? Like, just leave it there. That shit was stale anyway. I ain't want that shit. And, you might not like the advice. Might not taste good to you. You know what I'm saying? You might need to attend a couple of parties before you finally start trying the snacks and realize, like Arsenio with the cheese. Ain't nobody tell me this cheese was this damn good. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to slap somebody when you learn this shit. But that's all we're saying. Like, this is not lady bashing. There's lots of good women out there. Like T. Woods had mentioned that. I think there are a lot of fair women out there. I think my old lady's fair. She listens to the shit, and just because she agrees with me, or a lot of it, doesn't mean she agrees with everything. She has her own opinions, and where she doesn't agree, she states that, and we have discussions. You know what I'm saying? But it's never a situation where she's trying to defend, like, shitty hoes. Like, what she sees when we have these discussions is like, you know what? I know women just like that, so I see what y'all are talking about. Like, I know that there are women that are just like that. Oh, let me slide.
Nick Martin, I agree with you on that one. That's basically what we're saying. You'll never be happy. I 100% agree with you on that one, man. And it goes the same way with men, too. It goes the same way. But we don't view money like that. We just view it because we know women like the financial security. That's really what I'm not saying men don't want money, don't like money. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is I 100% agree with what you're saying. It seems they'll never be satisfied. Excuse me. And that is true. And Hunter, you are right, man. Here's the thing. Like we said, we as men, we'll separate the fuck boys from the real men. Women don't seem to do that. Women don't. Women want to loop all women together, but then when you start talking bad, that's when they want to try to separate and say not all. Men right off the bat will say, man, I ain't associating with that, like Trill said, that hoe ass motherfucker over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And we'll come over here to the motherfuckers that, that are cool. We might think different, but we know we ain't on that hoe shit.
Correct.
Women will loop it all together and say, well, no, we don't do that. We don't do that. No, that's not what we're saying. If you don't do that, look, I told you before, the last time I joined the den, I'm not finna talk about not all. I'm not finna talk about if it don't apply, let it fly. If you got something to say, it must be offensive to you. I must have said something that struck a nerve. Because 9 times out of 10, I told y'all the story, and I'm going to say it again. It was years back. I want to say it was like 2002 or something. I don't know. I forget exactly. I was at work. Notice I said I was at work. And this guy literally walked up to me and we was talking. I forgot what the conversation was about. But his exact words to me at that moment was, I think all black men are lazy. They don't want to work. They just want to sit around the house. Now, I'm like, I didn't get offended. Want to know why? Because he ain't talking about me. Because, like I said, I was at work. So if he want to say all black men are lazy and don't want to work, obviously he ain't talking about me. I didn't get offended. I just said, oh, okay. That's how he feels. That's how he feels. I didn't say not all men, because that's stupid. Because I know there are some men like that. Just like you know there are some hoe-ass, dumb-ass, mindset women out there. It is what it is. And we talk about this all the time as men. Why do women defend the bullshit? Men don't. We'll let you know right off the bat. Now, we ain't fucking with that shit. You go do you. I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? Leave me out of that. You know, shit like that. But women want to defend. We're not sitting here saying all women are bad. No. Because if that's the case, I wouldn't be married and Honcho wouldn't have a woman himself. If that's the case.
Exactly.
We must like all the bad women then. That's not what we are saying. We notice some things. Look, like y'all, like women like to tell us we need to shape up. How come we can't tell you? That's all I'm saying right there. How come we can't tell you?
Goddamn, Sarah. And that's the thing, you know, and that's what it's about. Because if you notice, the majority of the men who come to the den, especially those that are happily married, that have been married for a long time, even the ladies that have called in that have had long, sustained relationships, the race doesn't matter. But what you notice is that they tend to be in agreement on a lot of things, even from the female perspective, as, you know, how should this relationship be handled is according to men. And these are people who don't know each other outside of us coming to the den, outside of us, you know, interacting with one another and sharing our shared experiences, especially in the Discord. Make sure y'all are a part of the Discord. If you're not a part of the Discord, it is a huge part of the community. It is also free. The Den is a community, not just a channel. And it gets real loud because we'll be in the Discord immediately after this in the voice chat for those, since we didn't take calls today. So if you want to get in and interact with the Den folk live and chop it up live, we'll be in the Discord immediately after this. But, you know what I'm saying? It's like... Female pimp like Chelsea Hannah Twitter 50 said is the real deal. Where is this female pimp back? That would be. I ain't seen female pimp in like a long time. So, you know, like I said, it's just it's unfortunate, but we're all here to walk away from these conversations better. You know what I'm saying? Even if, you know, it's me learning something, you know, learning something from Man Up, learning something from P-Pay or Wink or Trill, or something people calling in, like, even though I may host this show, like, I listen, and man, I've grown a lot in the Den, just, you know, from listening to a lot of y'all, like just certain things, just like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. But I want to write to Nick, and again, appreciate the super chat love, says the subject title gave me an idea. Modern women are disgusted with the idea of dating down, which is based on their imagination, and imagination is limitless. Then it seems that they'll never be satisfied. And I agree because the concept of dating down is kind of like I mentioned earlier, that's a materialistic mindset. You know what I'm saying? If you're basing it on job and education, it's either materialistic or, you know, your perception. I have an aunt. I don't fuck with her too much once I kind of found out what type of person she really was. But she's been in banking her whole life. And she just started out from young and worked her way up. I don't think she'd ever really got a degree or anything like that. But even with that, had a husband, had a good job, you know, worked with the light company and stuff like that. And actually has had multiple husbands. What is this, 3, 4 now? So, you know, and whatever her situation was with him, but she used to tell me stuff like that, like, you know, I feel so embarrassed because, you know, I can't take him to these functions or that function or this function and that function because he's not educated or he's not this. Well, bitch, why the fuck you get with him then? You know what I'm saying? Like, you knew who he was when you got with him. You know what I mean? Like, and the reason, well, I know why, because she's a dummy, she's a fucking idiot. But again, like, because she wasn't thinking with her mind, thinking just somebody giving some goddamn attention, fucking goofball. But again, so like, why would you get with him? You know, and all these things. And it's not like he made bad money. He made decent money. You know, she made a little bit more, but she had that whole mindset. You know, this was this and that. But then once they got divorced and, you know, he done moved on, she losing her shit and trying to do all this, that, and the third with the kids' games, you know, when he came with his new chick or, you know, whatever else. And just, she was so sick in the head that, you know, he had moved on. You know, she doing all this desperate shit to try to get his attention, but you claim you don't want it, but you didn't want him when he was making less. Like, I honestly believe like a lot of women are confused, right? And they're basing a lot of their principles off what other women are saying and what other women are doing instead of basing it off, hey, what's right for me? Who am I? You know what I'm saying? And what can I do to improve? Like, if you want your man, like, nobody's going to find a 100% complete man. You're not going to find, if you do, it means he wants absolutely nothing from you, and you are expendable. Like, that's what you have to understand. Like, the thing that you want makes you most expendable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want a man that's 100% got it all together, has his empire together and all this stuff. Well, you aren't a part of that. You didn't help build any of that. You are expendable. I made all this without you. Make sure if we goes that far that you sign this fucking prenup, because you're going to leave with what you came with. You know what I'm saying? But if you were a person that helped this man build that foundation and get to wherever it got, and well, you're going to be viewed differently. You're going to have a different level of appreciation. But again, like I said, it's tough being a woman. Like, y'all got it tough in some aspects. Like, I'll give y'all that. Like, it's a hard to balance all the things that, you know, need to be done to find happiness. But I also believe a lot of women put a lot of extra shit on their plate because instead of putting the blinders that they put on the horses, you know, they ain't got them on, and instead of focusing on the goal that you want, that you're trying to achieve, you're seeing what every other woman is doing and feeling like, oh, I need to be doing that too, or I need to be getting that kind of treatment too, or I deserve that too, just because. I don't think men are looking at other men. Like, I don't know any, and man, oh man, Cardi B, he gave Offset a bunch of money for it. Man, my wife ain't doing that. She's slacking. Or nobody says that. Like, I've never, and if a nigga did, that'd probably be the last conversation I had with the nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, all right, okay. Hey, shit, man, I got to slide real quick. I'm going to fuck with you. And that's going to be that. Like, we'll just, okay, well, that nigga's that dude. Okay, bet. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and I mean, look, we're talking about the physical aspect and going out and paving the way and creating society. We know that's the man's job. But for a woman to find her place in today's society, because of all the misinformation, all the confusion that's being put out there, and because of all the opportunity, that's something you always have to realize. The more opportunity, the more problems, right? You know, you make your best decisions, the fewer options that you have, right? So if I want to go out to eat, well, all my town has is Burger King and McDonald's. Well, shit, I ate McDonald's last time I went to Burger King. Quick decision. But if I want something to eat and my town has 10 burger joints, you know what I'm saying? It makes the decision that much more difficult. Now I got to kind of ponder all of these places if I don't have a favorite. And then, you know, you deal with decision fatigue and everything else that goes with it. There's so many more options being presented to women that they always feel like I can level up, I can monkey branch up. So, you know, if this shit ain't what it is, then I can find the next man with the next situation. And sometimes what happens is women monkey branch, and they monkey branch one branch too far. They miss the whole fucking tree. And that's what some people like to call the wall. And when they hit that bitch, bam, hit the ground. And then they looking up and they wonder, well, why all the other monkeys still swinging? And I'm here back at the fucking base of the tree with a broken leg. I can't even get back up in this bitch. It's going to be a minute, you know what I'm saying, before I'm even back in the game. If I ever get back in the game again, that's if a leopard don't slide along the jungle floor and come eat my bitch ass up. Yes, this is an overly complicated analogy, but y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about, goddamn.
I got it right off the point. I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, man, all we're saying is this. We talked about this before, and we said, if you want advice how to keep a man, why don't you ask a man or the man that you want to get with? As long as you're acceptable to the truth and don't call yourself getting offended, won't you ask a man? Because Honcho said it best, and I ask this question all the time. I never get an answer. Why do women like hanging around gay men? Take advice from gay men. Never understood that. But, hey, it is what it is. It's business. I mean, I've heard women say, well, they're fun to hang around. I said, yeah, but don't you want a real man? Don't you want a man that wants you? You know, well, whatever. Anyway, all I'm saying is this. As long as you're acceptable to the truth and don't call yourself getting offended, I think the world would be a better place here. Because we have been taught that from childhood. You know what I'm saying? Accept responsibility. You play the part of this, blah, 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 all that good stuff. But for some odd reason, I think that message missed a lot of women. I think it did. I don't know why and how and where and all that good stuff, but at the end of the day, all we're saying is this. Look, if you want to do this, fine. Nobody's telling you not to. We applaud you bettering yourself. But don't frown your nose when you are on top now, and now you are above him in certain kind of situations. Not just financial, it can be physical, it can be mental, it can be emotional, whatever. It can be spiritual. But when it was him on top and you was below, everything was cool. But now it's you on top and he's below. Now I gotta find somebody on my level. That's not how this thing works. We never said no crap like that because we understood how the world works. No, not everybody's going to be equal financially, spiritually, emotionally, and all that stuff. Somebody's going to be on top, somebody's going to be on bottom. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to be equal. And if you're equal, wow, that might be one out of every million couples. You know what I'm saying? Probably less than that. But everybody is not going to be that way. So all I'm saying is these double standards do need to go. For example, I've got a sister that's like this. She still lives with my mom. She's what, 57, I think, 58. I don't even know how old she is. But anyway, because I got 8 of them, so I can't keep up with all of them. I'm too old for that shit. But anyway, she still lives at home with my mom, and every now and then I hear her say this. I just look at her like she's stupid, and I call her dumbass all the time when I hear her say this. She don't want a man that lives at home with her mom, with his parents. I'm like, wait a minute, you living at home? How come you don't want a man that's living at home? You come on now. That's not how this thing works. If you don't want him to be living at home, he want to make sure that you gonna have shit right too. Now, come on, that's just how it works. One person is not gonna sit here and be dominant because, like Honcho just said, we see you. Okay, once we find out who you are as a person, you can be replaced. It's just how it goes. It ain't like y'all build something up together, then he appreciates you more if y'all build something up together. But once he find out that, shit, I don't really need her, I got this on my own, peace. That's what he gonna say to you one day. It's just how it is. It sucks, it ain't right, but that's how it is.
Especially if another woman enters the picture with the same credentials and assets that you brought in, but better or younger or whatever it's going to be. That's why I say, women, when you put looks and all that shit to the forefront of everything you do, like, understand it's going to be somebody else who can and will replace you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just the way that it works. But real quick, this is what we finna do. We finna get ready to wind it down and slide to the Discord. Y'all know how it go down. I know some of y'all got some thoughts and things that y'all want to share. So, we gonna get into it. Yeah, we was on it for a minute. We didn't even do the line. It was the conversation got so good, John. We didn't even open up the line today. We were just rolling. But what we're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna slide to the Discord, because like I said, we just chopped it up today. We'll slide to the Discord if y'all want to get the conversation going, and then we'll continue the conversation. So let me make sure that the link is right there. But man, it's been an excellent conversation, and I think there's still a lot more to say, and I want to know what y'all feel about it. So make sure y'all slide in the voice chat. There's already a couple of y'all in here. So, man, I mean, other than that, Mr. Man Up, is there anything that you want to make sure that we address that we might not have got a chance to cover while we're live before we slide to the Discord?
Nah, I don't think I'm good, but I do want the ladies in there, and fellas, let the ladies, get their point across. Let them talk. Every now and then, almost every time. Excuse me, sorry about that. Almost every time we try to let the ladies talk, they don't say anything. You might get one or two, and those are the two faithful ones. Miss Sarah and Miss Bell. They're the only two that would speak their mind right off the bat. Other than that, come on, ladies. We need some input. Educate us. That's what we want.
Yes. And that's what I say. That's how we're going to start doing things around here. I say, when we have a topic and a specific demographic is mentioned, we want to give that demographic an opportunity to vocalize, to defend themselves, to express themselves, right? That's only fair. So if we having a day where y'all feel like we're shitting on black women, even though I would never do such a thing, I only uplift black queens. Y'all know me better than that. But anyway, but like I want black women to be able to go first. If we're talking about white people, we're gonna let white people call in first. Whatever it may be, that's how we're gonna start handling things. We're gonna let people have a chance to defend or counter argue points. And I think that makes for better conversation, so that way we can, we've expressed ourselves profusely to allow others to have a chance. So a couple of things real quick. Make sure you're following all the proper social medias for the Den info if you want to be updated. Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. I don't use the Den Show Live Instagram. I'm thinking about maybe doing something. I don't fucking know. I'll be saying shit. Don't listen to me. Let me see. What else? All the links you need are in the description below. Like I said, to Facebook group, all those things. Appreciate, shout out to Pisces, Moon, Brown, Becky. Shout out to Nick Morgan. Appreciate the support for the channel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button if you ain't hit that like button yet. It is free. If you ain't, went to the goddamn OnlyFans and signed up. It is free. Do it. Because like I say, I'm going to start pushing the envelope over there a little bit more. I'm not finna push. I'm finna fucking throw that bitch out there. There ain't gonna be no pushing no envelope. We finna go real extreme. We gonna have a whole lot of fun over there. So make sure y'all fucking with that. But aside from that, man, like I said, I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming through here. I'm gonna post the link in the chat again. Make sure y'all are in the voice chat. I see a few of y'all already sliding in there. So like I say, make sure you're a part of that. And yes, I'm gonna have some new Den merch coming real soon.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have some Den merch coming soon. And those of you who fuck with the sauce, y'all know the pre-orders for those shirts, I may extend them a day or two because I know somebody asked if I could wait till Friday. So we may see. I'll let you know about them shirts. But with that being said, Discord, let's get in there. I'm dropping the link in there. Shout out to everybody, man. Den folk, y'all are the greatest. Y'all are really y'all make this the best conversation in the world. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here. Yeah, I mean, it has been my honor. It's been my privilege. Most of all, been my pleasure. Shout out to Mr. Man Up, another great stream. Thank you for coming through, sir. And hopefully you can join us here in the chat, man. It should be a good conversation. With that being said, I'm just gonna hit this button because I ain't even got the shit set up for the outro or nothing. I don't care what DeMarcus say. He be complaining about the music and shit. He don't know what the fuck he be talking about. DeMarcus, go to work. You know what I'm saying? I hope you stub your pinky toe on the end cap. All right, I'm go. We out. Now we out. There we go. That's the button. There we go.